You may be familiar with this passage. Again, that's Luke, the 8th chapter, 43rd verse. And it reads, "And a woman having an issue of blood 12 years, which has spent all her living upon physicians, neither could be healed of any, came behind him, touched the border of his garment, and immediately her issue of blood stopped. And Jesus said, 'Who touched me?' When all denied, Peter and they that were with him said, 'Master, the multitude thronged thee and pressed thee, and thou sayest, Who touched me?' And Jesus said, 'Somebody hath touched me, for I perceive that virtue is gone out of me.' And the woman saw that she was not hid. She came trembling, and falling down before him, declared unto him before all the people for what cause she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said unto her, 'Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace.'" You may all be seated. Today, we're going to look at, as a topic, desperate times calls for divine measures. Desperate times calls for divine measures. We're going to look at 3 characteristics of this woman. The first characteristic is frustration. This woman spent 12 years suffering with stuff. She had used all of her means. She had nothing. Nothing was resolved and was still stuck with the same issue. How many of us have been there? We try getting advice from folk who mean well. They have street smarts, but they aren't sanctified smart. So these are good people, but they just have worldly advice. And many times our location is a result of our decision we made. Don't believe me? Back in 2004, a young man by the name of Morgan Spurlock created a documentary film of himself consuming McDonald's food for a whole month. The cameras followed Spurlock over a 30-day period from February 1st to March 2nd, during which he only ate McDonald's food. He ate McDonald's 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eating every item on the menu at least once. As a result, Spurlock gained 24.5 pounds, had a 13% body mass increase, a cholesterol level of 230, and experienced mood swings, sexual dysfunction, and fat accumulation in his liver. Your location is a result of your decision. The same thing happens on the spiritual side. We learned in Bible study a couple of Wednesdays ago that God created us to be free will agents. God created us with the ability to make our own decisions. God desired a friend. Like in James 2nd chapter, 23rd verse, he called Abraham a friend of God. He wanted somebody to walk with, to talk with, and provide for. Everything was perfect until Satan tempted man. And man made a choice. Man chose to do the wrong thing. And that wrong thing separated us from God. Because God is righteous. God had no fellowship with sin. God knew of no sin. Sin was foreign to God. Many times the Spirit of God will call us to tell us, don't do that. Don't buy that. Don't go there. Don't hang with them. And what do? We ignore them. Why do we do that? We ignore them. We try to fix things ourselves. We try to hook up with people who we think are good for us. Why not take it to the Lord in prayer? Can we find a friend so faithful who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Why don't we take it to the Lord in prayer? He knows us. He created us. He knows how much hair I chopped off. He knows us. But yet, we forget to go to the source. We prefer to try resources, what everybody else tried, what everybody else think, what grandmama did, what mama did, but we do not go to the source. The resources are readily available to us. And then when using those resources, we become trapped in our bodies. This woman